Haven't made a video in a while, just been busy. Some things have changed on the old Forester. So visually, not much has changed. You might notice the wheels are now gold. And all I really did was just take the plastic dip off these wheels because they were plastic dipped by the previous owner. I got most of the plastic dip off, and I think some of the wheels, like this one, looks really good. And then like some of these rear wheels, ignore the chickens. I'm house sitting and I have to take care of these fucking things, and they just chill and just wander around. Probably even let me pet them. Oh, look at that. Pretty curved, or rashed, I mean. Pretty rashed. But now the car's sitting on some nice Continental all seasons. High performance all seasons. For the life of me, I cannot remember what the name of these are, but they're the good Continental high performance all seasons. I don't know if I ever made a video about this grill. Got this new grill. It's honestly kind of a piece of junk. I still like it a lot more than OEM. It's from Forester parts. It's just a little flimsy. Doesn't really, I don't know. And this grill kind of comes attached. I don't know. I would like something else, but it's what I got for now. Car's clearly sitting lower now with the much smaller tires. When I went from a 55 to a 45 sidewall, so she's sitting nice and pretty. Oh yeah, we got the diffuser. God, yeah, a lot has changed. This diffuser on the rear here, which I like. I mean, somewhat. I'm not a huge fan of it, honestly. I actually just made some changes to it just the other day because this was sitting out a lot too far back. It was sitting out like right here. I didn't like it where it was. So what I had to do is I had to cut this because it was just hitting this muffler, which is also probably new since my last video. New Turbo XS axle back. Yeah, that's about it visually. I'm gonna hop inside and start talking a little about some mechanical things. So when it comes to my boost issue, that was the big issue in the first few videos I made. Had nothing to do with my turbo, had nothing to do with my cat. It wasn't a boost leak. The barometric sensor was unplugged, which is annoying, and I'll get to why I didn't do it. So May of last year I went to this mechanic shop, and it's just the one I found. They had good reviews, to go have a smog pump delete done because my smog pump was going out, and I knew that caused a lean condition a lot of times if it wasn't working correctly or the valve was stuck open or anything like that. So I was like, all right, I need to get this fixed, but it's cheaper to get it removed. So I went to this mechanic shop called Mike's Japanese and Domestic in Colorado Springs. The two guys there that I met were super nice and everything. And they got it done for way cheaper than I was expecting. It was great. And that was the end of that story. And then I had check engine light for a while, and then I finally got the Axis port, and I used Axis tuner. Spent the stupid $200 to have the Axis tuner training to get rid of those codes. And then got like some good Christmas money right after Christmas, and I was like, all right, something I really want to do for my car is get an air oil separator. That's something I really want. So, I had a good experience with Mike's Japanese and Domestic, so I went back. And again, they did seem to have done a good job, and they didn't charge me much. To backtrack a little bit, after I'd had the smog pump delete by them, and then a month or 2 months later, once I got the Axis port to get rid of the codes, I quickly noticed that my boost was like weird. I was like, all right, this is strange. Like my boost isn't really getting that high. I think I was at that time I was probably peaking at like 7, and I was like, I'm on stage 1. Like I should be hitting 13, like at least 12. Like at the elevation I'm at about 8,000 feet. It's probably gonna be more like 12. But like, I was like, okay, but this is weird. I'm like hitting like half as much boost as I should. And I could not figure it out for the life of me. I was just like, look at the boost leaks and all this stuff, and I couldn't figure it out. And that was what led to the video of me pulling the turbo out and it turning into a fucking nightmare. And that I like working on car PTSD from that now because it was just terrible. I want to get this car tuned. I have a couple parts that need to go into this car I have Cobb turbo inlet. Don't really need a tune for that. Cobb SF intake, and which was gifted to me for free, and it's like basically brand new, so that's why I'm gonna put it in. And a like no-name catless downpipe that was also gifted to me for free, so like again, can't really complain. I wanted to go catted, aftermarket catted, but hey man. So I want to get the car tuned, especially just because of the gas out here. I really want to have it detuned. Like I want to put those parts in and I'd be like, okay, dial down the boost, like dial down to like 10, like whatever, like because I want to have the dam in a good spot. I don't want to see any knock. I want a safe tune. I want something that's gonna run really good. I don't care about power. Regardless, it's, even at 10 psi, it's still gonna be a fun little car. It's just not gonna be as like peppy, and that's fine. I'd rather the car just be safe. So I started doing research into it, and then I finally dawned on me to go on to, if anyone else is into Foresters, if you're not already in it, the Discord Forester culture Discord server is a great place, a fucking great place to go if you want a speedy response to some kind of issue you have or anything. Like, I sent out a little paragraph into the help chat in there and got a response within 5 minutes. I'm gonna put the Instagram handle of the guy that saved my ass here on the video, but I sent out a message explaining the issue and how I thought it had something to do with smog pump, and then this guy responded and was like, yeah, I bought a Forester, and the previous owner had a smog pump delete done by a shop, and whoever did it wrong, and they removed the biometric sensor. And I was like, what? I was like, okay, and I started asking more questions because I was like, it wasn't quite clicking for me. And he was like, well, like, just so you know, like, the barometric sensor and the map sensor are two different sensors. And I was like, oh. And luckily, when I went to have my smog pump removed, I was like, he gave me the option. He was like, we can do it like a little more expensive and I'll remove everything and make it look cleaner, or we can do the cheap route. I'll take the smog pump out, put the block off plates on, and that's it. And I was like, well, yeah, let's just do that. I don't really care that much about it looking good. I just want to get it fixed for as cheap as possible. So luckily he left it in, but this is the kicker. He unplugged it. He unplugged my barometric sensor. Clearly he didn't know what it was, and that's what I'm like, man, you're a mechanic. Like, you're a Subaru mechanic as well. Like, the dude drives around a sick-ass modded WRX Bug-Eye. Like, the dude should know what he's doing. But he unplugged my barometric sensor, and it explains why my car has been running like shit for like almost a year. And yes, it's my fault for not looking into it sooner. But as I've said before, I'm not an expert on any of this stuff. Before I figured out the barometric thing, I texted him on Instagram, and again, I'm not going to say his name just out of, as much as he did kind of piss me off, and I'll get to why, I'm not going to drop his name, because I'm not going to be petty and stupid. That's dumb. I'm not going to do that. I texted him, and I was like, hey man, like, I'm trying to figure out this smog pump thing. Like, I think, there's something up with my map sensor ever since you did that. It's not reading right. I was like, do you know if there's something you need to do to the map sensor after you do it? And he was like, nope, you don't need to do anything to it. And I was like, okay. And then after is when I started talking to the guy on Discord, and then I texted the mechanic back, and I was like, hey, did you remove the barometric sensor from the car when you were doing the smog pump delete? The mechanic goes, the car needs the map sensor to run, LOL. And I was like, well, yeah, I didn't say the map sensor, I said the barometric sensor. Did you remove the barometric sensor? Because they're in two different locations, and the barometric sensor is built in to the valve in the smog, or in the solenoid in the smog pump system. He read it and did not respond. And I was like, admitting guilt? Personally, that pissed me off. I never texted him again. There's part of me that really wanted to, of course, be petty and be like, you're really not gonna respond to me, bro? Like, you really fucked up my car. There was a part of me that wanted to be like that. I decided against it. It just wasn't worth it. It wasn't worth my time. Whatever. Sorry that was such a long rant. I'm gonna try to cut some of that out if I can, just because I'm looking and I'm like, "Ugh, I've been sitting in the car for 20 minutes. Like I said, soon, hopefully, we'll have the Cobb turbo inlet in, the Cobb SF intake on. But yeah, I'm gonna try to start making more videos. Yeah, whatever. If you like this video, share it with your other car friends and be like, look at this kid that doesn't know what he's talking about. And yeah, do that. Have a good day.